Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Disney getting fed up with the boss of ABC News. We don't know what's going to happen, but things are escalating. Now, you've been following the situation with the new boss at ABC News for a while.
Yeah, I've seen it before. This isn't new. Like, she's in trouble again. But she was kind of demoted in February, and then she only came on like March of last year.
Yeah, so let's talk about this because ABC News is in big trouble. They were actually talking at one point they were going to possibly sell the news off. They had a massive round of layoffs last year. It's just the whole damn thing's on fire, and CNN's happy about it.
Okay, so back to March of last year. That was back when they started making the cuts and they were restructuring, okay? So they started restructuring and they put this Kim Goodwin or whatever in as the leadership, and they made a bunch of these choices that, take it as you will, but she was one of the ones people were like, okay, they're putting her in, and they were like, oh, she's the first black woman doing something. I forget what it was, but they made a big deal about it. That was like in March. That was when they restructured and started doing stuff. So they cut people and then put her in. Yes. All right. So that happened then. Then come February, there was discussion that she was getting a micromanager boss because people were complaining that she was kind of a tyrant, from my understanding.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Yeah, this was things are escalating. I haven't really been watching this super close, but it does seem like just mainstream news in general is on fire right now. So it does make sense that ABC News is on fire, but they've had all kinds of controversy in the last couple of years. They had the one of their producers was arrested for kiddie porn last year. Like, you know,
they're meteorologists for GMA and for some of their ABC stuff. He's like pretty much gone. I know he wasn't that loud back on GMA set for like a year, and they said it was because of anger issues.
Yeah, and they had didn't they have the one couple from the One Morning Show take off together or something, or was that a different network? I'm thinking.
I don't even know what you're talking
they had that. They had last year. I remember that they had two potential buyers, Nexstar and Byron Allen. Well, Byron Allen's laying a bunch of people off, so he can't afford anything anymore. So yeah, I think it's like they're kind of looking what to do with ABC News. And, you know, this was a big shift, and there were people that were there for decades, I guess, that got fired.
Yeah, they shifted a bunch of people around last year. And I know I talked about it on the blog before. But fast forward to February, or to today, it's even worse. But February, what happened then was she was supposed to be in charge, okay? So they said that she was effectively demoted and report to a micromanager boss. All right, that's what was going on.
Yeah.
They said that they're elevating Deborah O'Connell to helm a new division that would encompass ABC News and include GMA, World News Tonight, which I think those are the ones that meteorologist was part of. And she's going to report directly to O'Connell, and you know, for her job now, which she was supposed to be like her own. Everybody had to report to her.
Right.
Now they have her being micromanaged. People were saying, I don't have it here, but I think it was because she was being kind of toxic or was being very heavy-handed, I guess, is what it sounded like at the time. So she was being micromanaged, and that was in February, and she was supposed to get herself in line. And then fast forward to today. Was it today?
Yeah. She apparently was not at a big meeting yesterday, and people
maybe
were like,
she was away or something.
I don't think so. I think she's either gone or they're. I don't know.
I know when they announced she was getting micromanaged, people were cheering about it. They were happy that she was getting micromanaged.
Yeah.
So it had to be pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, she was only there for a year. I've had bosses like that. I've had bosses, and they blow in like a hurricane, and they want to change everything. They want to do everything their way. And we had one guy at the one place I worked, and he did that. He came in, and I got along okay with him, but I didn't report directly to him. But he came in. He wanted to change everything, and he was very much a go-getter. Went and bought a house. And he was only at the job for a couple months, and then his contract came up at the end of the year, and they actually wound up getting rid of him like the day before Christmas, like on Christmas Eve. And I'm like, that's really douchey. Like, I know the guy's not well liked, but like, could you at least wait till after the new year? And they're like, well, before he starts making any more house payments, because he's gonna have to go find another job. I'm like, damn. But yeah, this is CNN. They're probably delighted. This is their direct competition. Patients wearing thin at ABC News as frustrated staffers wonder when Disney will make leadership changes. And they said, yeah, they phoned into the network's daily editorial meeting on Thursday, and they took note of the absence of their boss, Kim Godwin. Hours after CNN reported about how Godwin is skating on thin ice, the embattled news chief was nowhere to be found as staffers assembled to discuss the day's coverage plans. Instead, the call was led by Deborah O'Connell.
Who was put in to micromanage her.
Yeah, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign.
They said she was tapped in February for a new role overseeing the news outlet, and she was conducting a thorough review of Godwin's portfolio.
Yeah. After the meeting concluded, a person familiar with the situation told CNN that Godwin was simply at a pre-scheduled doctor's appointment.
Well, that's what that could be. She could have been someplace else because she had some other kind of thing going on. And that is possible.
She's having a bit of a stroke because she knows her job's in jeopardy. Regardless of rampant speculation, her absence spoke to the apprehension of staffers who are thirsty for change and whose patience is wearing thin.
That's what I'm saying. The staffers were cheering when this woman got demoted or was getting this other person to come in. He said this O'Connell goes in and actually works with them and tries to fix the issues where Godwin is never there and she's kind of arrogant, apparently.
Yeah, they said internally O'Connell's viewed as a problem solver, willing to personally get in the trenches and directly address issues, while Godwin is widely viewed as an absentee boss focused primarily on her own self-image. Staffers who spoke cannot offer enough praise for the former, while it seems that everyone has a gripe about the latter.
That's what I'm hearing. That they were thrilled when they put this person over top of her, like overseeing her.
Well, so here's the dilemma. Can I say this? I'm gonna say it.
One's white, one's black?
Yes. That current year, it's a bad look to put a white woman to oversee a black woman.
Especially since they made such a big deal. Like they made a huge deal.
They made a huge deal about her being yes.
But here's the thing: the staffers are like happy that she might get gone. They're asking for someone to do something. So they put this other woman in. So
this is like, I mean, this is the thing. Like I have been saying this, and for people who don't actually listen to our videos, they look at thumbnails and you think, the most qualified person for the job should get the job. And that's regardless of race, regardless of gender, regardless of sexual orientation, regardless of religion, whatever. If this woman, regardless of her skin color, is not working out very well, and ABC News is going to burn down if they keep her in charge, then the smart thing to do would be to replace her. And we should be allowed to do that. If somebody's not working out, regardless of their skin color, their gender, whatever, you should be able to replace them. Now, if you're replacing them because of their skin color, their ethnicity, their gender, that is a huge problem.
Here, go down. They said when she came in, she was greeted with a fire hose of complaints.
Yes.
And she understands change is necessary. Yeah, I mean, I'm back in February when this happened that she was put in to oversee her. I do remember people were like, they were like celebrating that, she was getting overseen because that she wasn't doing anything, wasn't helping. And it was a big problem. They said the environment wasn't good. Yeah, he said Iger knows pays special attention to ABC News because that was where he came from. She wouldn't have been appointed had Disney Brass not felt it necessary. I agree, because it's a bad look after they made a big deal of promoting the woman because she's the first black lady, whatever.
And that was, so, I mean, again, not to go down this road, but when she was promoted, that was before Disney tossed their original DEI officer overboard, right? That was like, she was hired on the other ladies' watch or something. So I have to wonder if part of the reason that other DEI, because now the DEI officers,
it's more like HR now.
It's more like HR,
it's just HR for the most part. Like they're actually doing what the DEI job
is supposed to do, which is make sure nobody's being. But the thing is, it needs to work all the way around. Like the most qualified person for the job, regardless of whatever, they're the ones who get the job.
Well, this is interesting too. They said that O'Connell has been candid about the mistake she believes her new subordinate has made.
You're allowed to say
She also says that, that it was evident Godwin had lost the room. Her stewardship no longer sustainable. One media executive familiar with ABC News said it's obvious she no longer has the confidence of the newsroom, and it's clear to staffers that O'Connell was the actual leader of the network.
Yeah, so that also happens. Again, corporate background. Sometimes the employees will choose their boss.
Okay,
and that's a problem if you're supposed to be the boss and they don't choose you.
She knew it was bad, but she didn't know how bad it was, meaning O'Connell. But they said Goodwin entered ABC News 3 years ago as the first black woman to lead broadcast television news division. Now, I know they made a big deal about it last year when they got rid of people and then bumped her into the position to oversee it all.
Yeah.
And then they had to, like less than a year later, bring O'Connell in because it was not working and it was a lot of complaints, and I knew that. So this has been an ongoing issue. I don't know if we did videos on this before. It's something I've been following.
We did when they fired a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, and I've been following this because it's part of my job. So that's why I knew there was more to it than just there was some stuff that happened before this news story today, and then I was able to go back and pull it up. But yeah. Yeah,
so it's not looking to. I mean, Disney. Like, look, on some level, I'm like, maybe the Nelson Peltz thing scared the crap out of them, the mouse pellets out of them. Because
if they fail again, they're going to get taken over. There's no, I mean, they're bored, so they're going to come for board season. They're going to come for more than 2.
So let's look at what they're, in addition to ABC, they're trying to course correct with the streaming. They're trying, they're not spending as much money or whatever. They're trying to cut back on some movies. I think some of the stupid movies that are coming out, like Snow White, I think they're just too far into it. They got to, release it or take the L for it. But I think at this point, after Mufasa, after Snow White, we're going to see a lot less live action movies.
Well, I agree. There's a lot they have to prove. But the thing is, they haven't proven any of it yet. They said they're going to do this stuff, but they haven't proven any of it. And their stock went from what was 120 something before the day before the investor call, and as soon as it became clear the media was reporting Disney was going to keep the seats, it plummeted. It sounds like $113.78 when I checked it last.
I was just looking at this. I thought this is what you're signing up for on their mailing list: misinformation, conspiracy theories, and propaganda.
Wait, what? Reliable source separates from CNN.
It's like,
yeah, we're reliable. Wink, wink. Sure you are.
I'll take some misinformation, conspiracy theories, and propaganda. CNN. Sure, I'll sign up for you.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny because I just think it's funny that CNN's the one posting that. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this up.
We're gonna wrap this up, guys. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.